Shalom Israel with ISUPK. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribe of Israel. We were affiliated in 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not under the ISUPK, International School of Practical Knowledge, you're not in the truth. So grab the ISUPK, grab a class, get in on class. We'll be in camp tomorrow. When you go to camp, make sure you grab a flyer if you're not already in ISUPK. Get in, get your name. Sisters, get your name. So we say, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Thumb, to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema, Halatha B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, to all the Akwaf, all the sisters. So get in class. In the next class, Friday night we talked about the earth, Haratazah last week, how things were stolen from us, and the Most High is going to give the earth back to us. Pretty much in a nutshell. And we're going to mix that in with LASHAWAN QADASH tonight. Historical dates by the numbers. But before we get into that, we'll get into some, we'll talk about Islam, the Crusades and things like that. Just a little bit, and bring in LASHAWAN QADASH as I've gotten it from the higher ups. Listen to some of these classes. I'll just put some LASHAWAN QADASH to it. And we'll start off by going into a little bit. We'll say LASHAWAN QADASH is the holy language, and that's what we teach here. LASHAWAN means language. QADASH means holy. We read Hebrew from right to left. There are 22 characters. There's 2 vowels in Hebrew. There are numbers. We have a number systems, and we were the original Paleo-Hebrew, and we have Assyrian Hebrew. I'm Officer Kazakh Shapar 50, and I'm going to teach the LASHAWAN QADASH class tonight. We're going to get into some of the historical numbers as it relates to the nations. So let's some of the dates basically. Let me see who's in class already. Let's see. We have Lamore David, Dina McCall, Lamore David. Wow, sisters. Dina McCall, Lamore David's in class already. Very good, Lamore, David, and Dina McCall. Okay? We'll keep digging here. And Lamore David. All you have to do is just keep checking into this class in ISUPK, South Carolina, and you will get your name when you come to class. Build up enough time. Come to some of our classes. See, we'll talk about Hakanaka a little later on after class. Get your name. This is not Christianity. This is the Bible. We are the children of Israel. We're blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, this is your class. You belong here. This is where you belong. This is where you learn the Bible. Let me get the Bible. Let me get over here. Let me see. This is where you learn, because we do this. We're going to be doing it in the morning. Lock it here. We're going to be going over the Tanakh, Hebrew, in the morning. And this is where we learn. We learn out of the Bible. We learn out of the Tanakh. This is what we learn. ISUPK. We also have the Apocrypha, which they took from us. Let's grab one of those. Right here. I'm glad I learned in school under Commanding General Yohana ISUPK. The Apocrypha. It was inset in the middle of our original Bible. Okay? 1611 edition. It's already there. This red book, which is the Apocrypha, which is more of our books, which the Catholic Church took and hid from them. And they have their own church, basically. That's their church. That's what they do, trying to mess our scriptures up. And that's what we'll get into. We'll talk a little bit about how the Crusades and all that. And not so much in depth. I just wanted to show you the dates by the numbers so I can at least get you to write in your notes when things occurred. Okay? So let's get a little bit into that right now. Before we get into that, let's continue. Let's see. We have Dana. Yes. All right, Dana. Dana, let's clap it up. Dana said, David says she's happy for this class. Let's get going. Let's get cracking here. This is what we're doing here. Basically, I want to say that the Most High gave us a covenant. You know, now, did he give it to everybody? No, he didn't give it to everybody. He gave it to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You know, those blacks that's here in the land that they call Negroes, niggas, or whatever you want to call them, however you want to call me. I'm God's chosen people. Let's get the Bible. Let's find out. Let's find out what that means. Let's find out Genesis 9. We'll get into it. We'll go Genesis, Exodus, Deuteronomy. We're going to get into some of these scriptures here. And we're going to put some LASHAWAN, QADASH to it. So we'll show you what these words mean, you know. Let's find out here. Okay? Genesis 9 and 9. If you have your Bible, you can read along with me. Genesis 9 and 9. The Most High said, after let's go to Genesis 8. What really happened was this. He established a covenant after the Lord flooded the earth. Of course, we talk about that in the Sabbath classes in the morning. But the Most High, he said this to Noah. And the Most High spake unto Noah and said it to his sons. And the Most High spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and behold, I will establish. After all that mess that went on before the flood, he said, look, I'm wiping this out. We're starting all over. And this is what I'm doing. I will establish my covenant with you and with your seed. Seed is Sarai. I didn't put that on the board, but that's what the word seed is, if I'm not mistaken. When you say seed, you're saying this word right here. Sarai. Okay? Seed. And seed comes from a man. Just like you plant an apple tree, that's the seed. It's going to come up an apple. It don't come up no peach. I don't care how much hybridation you're going to do. Maybe a little sweeter, older, younger, whatever, tastes different. It's going to come up a darn seed. That's what it's going to come up, see? And the man established that through his loins. The seed, Sarai. And so that's what the Most High said. He said, I'm going to establish this. Matter of fact, let's look the word up. Let's make sure I know it's Sarai's seed. I knew I had it. Yeah, Sarai. That's right, Sarai. It means seed. And that's what the Most High said. I'm going to establish this between you, Noah, your three sons, the seed. And what I'm going to do is make sure that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. And down through the line, we may not get into all of that where Jacob and Esau and all of that, but we're going to get into some events in history here, and we're going to do some LASHAWAN, QADASH, okay? The covenant. That's what he said, Genesis 9 and 9. Okay? Let's get back to there. And I, behold, I establish my covenant. What is covenant? Let's look it up. Let's see what else got in class. Let's go through covenant. Let's see what covenant means. Sharabanah. Sharabanah. She's in class. Shara. Very good, assistant. I write your name down too. Sharabanah. It's like I said, Dean, I think that because you clap because you can see the board a little better. That what it is? Say con, if that's the case. You can see the board a little better, Dina. I know you can see it better than what we had last week. Okay? Behold, I will establish my covenant with you and your seed. Okay? And covenant. Let's find out what covenant is. Let's look that up. Let's just look it up. Let's find out the definition of covenant. As I was taught to do, even if I think I know it, look it up anyway. It's sort of like a promise, but let's look it up anyway. Let's look it up and see what it is. Covenant. Let's find out what it is. A covenant and agreement. There was a covenant between them and the name of blah blah. A covenant simply means an agreement. It's a legal contract. When the Most High make it expected. A covenant is an agreement. Make no mistake about it. It's an agreement. Matter of fact, we're going to get into that. But covenant, and when the Most High said, I'm going to make a barayath up here on the board. Barayath. Barayath. That's a B, that's R, that's Y, and that's tha. That's ba, ra, ya, tha. And so, in Hebrew, in the Syrian, in the blue here, we'll try to keep it in context in the blue. The Syrian, and then we'll do the paleo in red. Sir, the board looks great. Good. All right. The water says, the water for that. Try to make it so you can see the board a little better in class here. But that's what covenant is. It's an agreement. When the Most High said, let's make a covenant. Now, let's say if you have a covenant for your house, and say that the first of the month, you're going to pay this rent now. Break that covenant and see what happens. You're going to be on the street somewhere, looking for somebody. And that's exactly what happened. But we're going to get into what happened. We're going to get into when you break covenants. When the Most High said, look, follow along with me. Covenant. Write this in your notes. Barayaf. B-R-Y. B-Ba-Ra. B-Ra-Ya-Tha. Barayaf. And then, of course, the paleo and the connectors, you have the independent, then the connector here. Follow along with me, because we don't have a lot of time to get through a whole lot of this and break down all of the Hebrew, so we're going to make sure we can get a lot of the preponderance of it, okay? Barayaf. In red here we have Ba, that's a B. Now, next week, I may get a little bit more to the alphabet, or what you call the characters. There are 22 characters in the Hebrew. And the B, that's Abba, that's the second one. Ra, Abba, listen, I don't know yeah, it is right here. I can't name which one. Abba, Abagada, Hawazaka, Dayakala, Manasa, Pataza, Kwarasha. But that's it. We have ending in the paleo we have connectors, independent connectors, and dependent connectors. Like for instance, Yath. They depend on each other. This Y right here, the Ya and the Ya and the Tha, to make this word right, Barayath, covenant. Most High say, look here, Barayath. See, that's what he's saying. And of course here, you don't have that in the Assyrian. You don't have the connectors. It just says Barayath. We learned that on the Assyrians in our captivity. Barayath, okay? What you have in there is you have an ending character. If that character ends in some special characters, there are 5 of them, and I believe it's the Ka, the Ma, the Na, the Ka, the Ma, the Na, the Tazah, and the Pa. Those are the ending connectors for when you get into the blue here, the Assyrian. But of course, we'll get into that in another class here in a while. Let's see who else is checking in the class here. We have Adrian Clay Ferguson. All right, Adrian. We know you in class here. It won't take long for Adrian to get in class, just like the other sisters and the brothers there. Sisters getting in class early. Gotta get some more brothers in class now. Adrian, you should go ahead and get your name, sis. I know you got your time is past due. Make sure you call the camp leader. Make sure you call the camp leader. That's the whole point. Anyway, make sure if your sister, if you got to get your names coming up, or you know you passed the time, call the camp leader, Officer Natazam of ISUPK, South Carolina, and get your name. Okay. So Barayath. Okay, now let's find out something else here. Let's turn to Exodus 20th. Yes, let's turn to Deuteronomy 28. Let's turn to Exodus 20 and 3. Let's find out what the Most High gave Moses here. Of course, we're going a little fast here, but we're still going to go through that. Get your Bible. You know, guys get used to Akwaf and Akim. So I'll get to the men above me. Make sure that you get, and all the officers, of course, make sure that you get your notes written down so that you'll have a reference. You know, these things mean something. Bariyah. So you say, oh, that's a covenant. It means an agreement. It's a promise. It's sort of like getting kicked out of my covenant of my rent because I don't have it. You know, sort of like that, you know. A covenant, or if you promise something, that's what it means. So write these notes down, and we'll get into the rest here in a second here. So let's turn to Exodus 20th chapter, 3rd verse. Let's see what that's talking about here. 20 and 3. Oh, it's talking about the commandments. You know, of course, it has many commandments, it's 600 plus. You know, so 613, I believe. But anyway, it says, the Most High said this. And the Most High spake, let's start at verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh. Yahweh, thy power, Allah, Elohim. I'm not God's Allah. I say I am God. That's what he's trying to say. The Most High is saying Yahweh. Yahweh, okay? When we say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, that's what we're saying. Yahweh in the name of Christ. Or the name of Yahweh Shah, that's who you call Christ. The world calls Christ, but it's really Yahweh, the Most High, Christ, Yahweh Shah. So we say, I am the Most High, the power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. See, we were over in Egypt. We were over in Egypt. Physical Egypt right there. Of course, we got on these ships, and we talked about that last week. We'll bring that text up and wound up here. Okay? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's what it says. No other gods, no Elohims. No other, that's the word right there, Elohim. That's what gods mean, okay? Now, can somebody tell me, give me some gods? Somebody write in the chat, what kind of gods that you can have? We talked about this last week, but let's talk about, in context of, let's say we got no other gods before, because see, I tell you what, before we get into that, let's get into this text right here. Let's get into Deuteronomy 4 and 27. Let's find out what some of these gods are. Deuteronomy 4 and 27 before we do that. Unless you can just go ahead and type in the chat. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4. Deuteronomy 4 and 27. Let's find out something here, okay? And the Most High, okay, let's look it up. The Most High shall scatter you among the nations. Oh, man. You shall be left few in number among the heathen because why? Because few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. Okay? And there ye shall serve gods. Anytime, even though you're Israel, anytime you go wandering after gods, wood and stone, the Most High call you heathen, you know. So let's come back, Israel. That's what it's trying to say. There you shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. You know, how you gonna serve a God that can't eat or smell anything? That's what it says in Exodus 20 and 3. That's what it says in Deuteronomy 4:27. No other gods. What you doing that for? That's what he's saying, a wood and stone. You see? That's what he's trying to tell you. That's what's going to happen here. And then, so no other gods. So let's go back. Let's go to Deuteronomy 31 and 16. Let's go to Deuteronomy 31 and 16 here. Deuteronomy 31. And we'll get back to the gods of wood and stone here. and see if you guys can figure out what those gods are, wood and stone here. Deuteronomy 31, all right, and 16. All right, let's do this right here. Deuteronomy 31 and 16. And the Most High said unto Moses, now he's talking to Moses, black man, sitting up there. Moses could have looked like me, for that matter. Sitting up there and said, look at here. He was a Levite, okay? That's what the Haitians are nowadays. Sort of like that. Those are our people. He was a Levite. That's what Moses was. You know, he led the people across the Red Sea, that Moses. And he says, and the Most High said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt sleep with thy father. Now, he's not talking about homosexual or anything. He just, of course, that's stupid. So he's trying to say, sleep means what in this case? Thou shalt sleep. It means death. So you're going to die. Moses, you're going to die with your fathers. He said, just as sure as you're going to die with your father, and this people will rise up. I'm talking about us. And go whoring after other gods. That word, whoring, right there. Y'all can see that? Whoring. It means zanah. Let's let that sink in for a second. Moses said, so like a second. Look at the chat. Okay, good. All right. He said, you going to go whoring. I imagine when Moses heard this, he said, you know, we serving you, how is that? Let's go back and read this again. Because he was basically, Moses never made it to the Israel side over there. He just said, look here, you get ready to go to sleep, bro. You got other things you got to do. Of course, Moses was actually, we'll get into that. We'll get into another that. That's a whole nother lesson. And the Most High appeared in the tabernacle in the pillar of the clouds, and the pillar of the clouds stood over the door of the tabernacle, verse 15. And he said, look here. And the Most High said to Moses, you're going to sleep with the father. In other words, you're going to die with your fathers. You're going to die. Moses probably looked at him and said, oh, okay. And I thought I'd at least go with my brethren. No, the Most High said this. Thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people, the people amongst you right here, going to rise up. Okay? And go a-whoring after the gods of strangers of the land. Wow, that's deep. And that's exactly what we're doing nowadays. Whoring, zanah. Zanah in Hebrew, that's what it means. Whoring. Whoring after what? Gods of wood, itazah, and stone. Well, let's find out. Let's look this up. Let's read that again. And then other gods, Allahayams, plural. Okay? We don't need Zerah anymore. That's C. Let's look this up. Let's find out. Zanah, of course, is spelled Zanah, Z-A-N-A-H, and then there's the Hebrew in blue there, Zanah, and you can write that down. Let's find out. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:64. Let's see what it says. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. We're talking about our people going whoring after these other gods. And we're going to find out, well, what is this? 28:64, okay? Let's find out what this is here. 28 and 64. Right here, okay? And the Most High, hope everybody got it right here, read along with me. And the Most High shall scatter thee. We're going to be scattered among all people. Some people, all. All is K-A-L, call. We'll put that word up here, all. All, not some. All of our seed. So if you want to say call Zerai, that's what that would be. Call. Call, that word right there means all in Hebrew. So if you say call Zerai, it means all seed. All of our seed. Well, you know, all of Israel's seed. Call Zerai. You want to say call Zerai Israel. That's all Israel's seed. Okay? It says in verse, let's read it again here. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth until the other. That's That's a lot of scattering. And there thou shalt serve other gods. There it is again. We read this before. Exodus 23 said other gods, other Elohims. But this time it says of what? Other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. Now, God didn't know. I'm Most High. Listen, our fathers didn't know. That's what the Most High was telling Moses. He's saying, we didn't know the gods of wood and stone. Stone is pronounced Aban. Because we have also named Aban. It does not relationship that he's a god. It just means his name means stone, strong, you know. We're going to be serving gods of stone, gods of wood, Atazah, Aban, and Atazah. Wood and stone. You know, that's the gods that we're going to be serving. We didn't even know these gods. Can somebody put in the chat an example of God in wood and stone? Look it up for me, okay? Of God in wood and stone. Since that's what we're going to be serving, can somebody put in the chat what this means? A God of wood and a God of stone. How are we serving gods of wood and stone? Somebody type it in the chat. Work with me. Come on. How are we going to serve a God of wood and stone? Let's get some participants in the chat here. Give me a God of wood and a God of stone. Because the Most High say, you ain't got no business doing that. He said wood and stone. In other words, he meant exactly what he said. He's trying to say this. Well, I don't have a Slovakia here for a second. Okay, here we go. I don't have the wood and stone. Somebody put in the chat, give me a God of wood and give me a God of stone. All right, let me check the chat here. Let's see what we got here. Christianity, Muslim, Sharabanan, Dina McCall, statues. Christianity, Muslim. That's right. Okay, good. Christianity is right. That's one. And then somebody said, I think it's Bara and Dina, Shara and Dina. When you say Muslim, be a little bit more specific if you can. When you say Muslim, when you say stone, what do they worship? What's that little thing that they worship? They march around. What is that? What's that called? God of wood and stone. Let's see what we got here. The crucifix, yeah, Shara. That's right. A cross. That's the one in wood. Right. When you have that little cross up there like that, well, here, we'll do it better here. Have a little cross, then have a little crucifix, you know, whatever it means, God of wood. And they make them out of wood because they talk about Christ died on the wood. The Bible says Christ died on the tree. But they make a wood, the Kaaba, yeah, Shara, the Kaaba, the black, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get into that in a second. We're going to find out historical numbers and historical dates when these came on the scene. We're going to find out here in a second. But that's right. That's right, sis. Shara and Dina, you're exactly right. Gods of wood and stone, the cobblestone. That's right. That's what it says. Let's read it again. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all the people, from one end of the earth until the other. Look at our people over here in Islam. What we doing worshiping some stone, marching around in a circle like some fool. But the Most High told Moses, you're going to die. And when you die, your people going to wake up. They're going to rise again. And look at us now. Doing this. Serving gods of stone, the cobblestone. Serving the crucifix made out of wood or whatever they make it out of. But the symbol is it's a wooden cross. Talking about this white Jesus died on this cross. And that ain't it. That ain't what the Most High had for us in mind. He said, you ain't got no business serving wood and stone God, but that's what Deuteronomy 28:68 said. Of God and wood and stone. Then he said, the Bible says this. That's our book. And there thou shalt serve other gods, Elohim, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Sloppy. There's some more here. That's what the Most High said. He said he didn't know them. Get some water here. Gods of wood and God of stone. That's what this is. We ain't got no business worshiping the gods of wood and stone. Okay? Salaki for a second. Wood and stone, that's what we're doing. Okay? Right. And that's what we went a whoring after. And these texts tell you that. The Bible says in Exodus 20:3, don't have no other gods before me. No other Elohims. And certainly don't go whoring after them. Zawan, Zanah, that's what whoring means. And then everybody knows you're going to say, okay, let's look up whoring. Let's just look it up. Let's look the word up. Let's look up whoring. I mean, I shouldn't have to look it up, but let's just look it up. Let's make sure. Let's just look it up. Let's find out what it means. Okay? Let's look this word up and find out. Let's find out what it means. Okay? Whoring, the practice or occupation of working as a prostitute. Let that sink in for a second. That's what the Most High said. You whoring. You're going to wake up. We're going to rise up one day, and the Most High said, you're going to have an occupation, the practice or occupation of working as a prostitute. Zanah. Let that sink in for a second. Let me check the chat here. Let it sink in for a second. We have Baralabah. Use the concept of black. Yeah. Baralabah, all the way from Texas. Very good, sis. Glad you're checking in. ISUPK. That's what we're doing here. Baralabah. Okay? All right? But that's what we're doing here. We're trying to find out. The Most High said, he told Moses, let's go back and read this here again. The practice of occupation of working as a prostitute. Occupation. You mean to tell me that's what Israel, that's what they're doing out in these Christian churches. That's what they're doing out in Christian churches. An occupation of a prostitute. You a whore. If you go up here and beat these tambourines and step down your feet, that's what the hell you are. A whore. And salaki for my language. Whoring. Zanah. The practice of being a whore. Because that's what it said. Let's read this definition again. Deuteronomy 31. Let's read it again. Let's read the definition. And then the practice of or occupation of working as a prostitute, the action of using services of prostitute, an unworthy or corrupt use of one's talent for personal or financial gain. If that ain't the Christian church for using all of them together, use them all. Personal gain. Look at these pastors. Using a whoring after other gods of wood and stone to march around in stone. All of them. T.D. Jakes, Crefro, Thefro, Dollar. To use this little talent. I mean, these guys are they have some talent because they can coerce people and pull their money out of them. For the sake of gods of wood and stone. So all you got to do is just get the little crucifix right here. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is get the little, go along with the Pope and all his stuff. All you got to do is get the cobblestone and march around it. Y'all write that down on the board right there, on those definitions right there. That's all. Gods of wood and stone. Wood and stone now. Let's read that again, because that's hard. Let that sink in. Let's let that sink in. Let's let that sink in just a little bit here. You know. Let's let it sink in. Okay? Let's go to the Bible. Let's go back to the Bible. Let's go to Deuteronomy, I think it was 31. Let's go to 31:16. Let's read that again. 31:16. Let's just find it before we get into all these other times in history where people start practicing a whoring. The occupation. It's a shame that our people are going to start whoring after other gods. An occupation, like a woman on the street. Okay? Okay, let's see. Let's read it. And the Most High said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep or die with your fathers, and this people will rise up, us, and go whoring. So now, go whoring. In other words, they're going to go practicing the occupation of being a whore, of a streetwalker. They're going to go after these other gods. That's what this is saying. They're going to rise up. That's us, Israel. Wake up, Israel. That's what this is talking about. That's what we do. Okay? Whoring after other gods. Of the strangers of the land, which they go to be among them, and forsake me, and break my covenant, and break my bariath. Okay? They're going to break it, which I made with them. A lot of people say, well, what was the covenant? Officer Kazakh part. Well, let's go to Deuteronomy. We talked about this last week. Since just in case somebody want to know what it is, let's go and let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Let's find out. No, I mean, well, okay, look. Let's go to the covenant is to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Let's go here. Let's go and read about it. Let's go find out what the covenant. Well, that's what the Most High said. Alright? Deuteronomy 28. It says, it shall come to pass, thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy God, and observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. That's 613 of them, I believe, and all his statutes and his commandments and his laws, okay? Which I command thee this day, thy God, I will set thee high on all the earth. We talked about that last week. He's going to set us high upon Haratazah, high on the earth. So like you said, let's check the chat. That's right, okay, good. These are some good answers you guys had in here. He's going to set us high on the earth. Well, we talked about that. The Most High gave us a covenant in Deuteronomy. And he also said this. The Most High said he's going to be blessed, because we talked about this. All you had to do is do the commandments. You know, we don't want to go too much of this, because we went last week and we talked about this. But he's basically saying Deuteronomy, the 28th, he's saying he's going to make you high on the earth. Fruit, cattle, children, and everything, all of that. If you don't, then you're going to be cursed. And of course, he told Moses, say, look, you ain't going to even go to Egypt, Moses. Because you're going to die right here. Your fathers and your people are going to go whoring. And I'm going to send them again into Egypt again on ships. We'll read that. We read it last week. Let's read it again. And the Most High, Deuteronomy 28:6-8, shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships from this Egypt, what Moses never made, Joshua and Caleb did. Say, look at here. All y'all have to do is just walk from Egypt to Israel. Okay? That right there, the Most High said, look here, I'm going to send you to America, that Egypt. This is the land of bondage. That's what it means. Bondage, okay? And the Most High will send you again into Egypt on ships. It means bondage. The bondage that we endured before All because we want to whore after other gods. Zanab, sorry. It's like, by the way I spake thereof, you ain't gonna see it no more again. You know, that's what it's saying. And there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen, bondwomen, and no man will buy you. That's what we became slaves in America. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in some form or fashion have served servitude right here in America for 400 years, okay? Trail of Tears, and the Mexicans been beaten half to death over there. And our brothers, we the blacks in the cotton fields, and the poor Indians, our brothers, smallpox, living on land. I went out west, they're living on land that ain't worth 23 cents. You can't live off that land out there and grow anything. It's dirt, it's dust. I mean, it's like clay, no nutrients. Got to bring a lot of dark soil to help it. And that's what they set them on. So anyway, we went all because we went a whoring. We went a prostitution. We got the occupation of being a whore. So now, because we want the gods of wood, God of stone. All of us call gods of wood, God of stone. The cobblestone, and of course there are more. Christian church, let's talk about that for a second. All right? We'll get to that. Let's go to it right here. Let's see. Let's erase some of this right here. No other gods, blah, blah, covenant. We had that covenant, we broke it. Slack for a second, let me erase the board here. Brothers and sisters. Ox and aqua. Okay. Let me erase the board here so I can put some more information up here. Okay? Locked it for the time there, spending. Let's get some of these dates where Christianity came in, because and what Islam and all these things. Let's find out. Let's find out what happened. Let's find out some of these. What happened? When did Islam come on the scene? Well, Islam came on the scene 600. Okay? AD. All right? That's Islam. That God of that cobblestone. All right? Here he is on the scene. Okay? Because we don't need this anymore. Hope you guys are writing this down here. Islam came on the scene in 600 AD. Okay? And it spread. Okay? Muhammad couldn't even read or write. Talk about some cobblestone. So they marched around this cobblestone. Okay? Couldn't even read or write. That's what it talked about when it talks about the God of wood and stone. You know, that's one of them. There's other gods. When you go up into these churches, you see all these statues. Oh my goodness. In the Catholic Church, I've been in there when I was younger. That's all they got is statues of everything. Gargoyles, this the god, that god, fish god. They got one god that looks like this. And they call it the Dagon. That's called the fish god. And I believe Dagon. I believe in Hebrew. Let me look it up. That's the word for fish. I'll look it up. Dagon. They got gods that look like that. I think it's got a little eye there too. You know, the Philistines. They had gods like that too, if I'm not mistaken. But let's look it up. Let's just look it up. Let's find out. If I'm not mistaken here, let's see. Dagon. Yeah. Sorry. Let's look it up here. Let's go back here. Let's look it up, see what it is in Hebrew. Well, okay. try it again here. There it is right there. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, let's look that word up. Fish. In Hebrew. Yeah, that's that dagah. There it is right there. Maybe I got it spelled wrong here. But it's actually da. That's why it's important to know Hebrew so I can look it up and figure out what's going on here. Da. Like that. Dagah, dagah. Ah, that's why I got it spelled wrong. See? That's how I know how to spell it correctly now. It's dagah. Dagah. Just like that. That is one of the gods of the Catholic Church. I think the Pope even wear the crown like that. See, they got so many different gods out there. But that's in Hebrew, that means fish. Dagah. Okay? All right. Now, of course, we'll erase that there, Dagah. Of course, we talk about Islam here. They came on the scene. Now, let's figure out how to say in Hebrew. Since we're on there, we might as well break it down. That is a point in time in history. Okay, that is a point of time in history. 600 AD. Let's break that down. Let's break down how to say that. Anybody remember? Let's see. I don't know. You might remember Islam. Let's see. Shashah. What does shashah mean in Hebrew? Anybody? Let's see if y'all guys can remember that. Anybody type it in the chat. Shashah. Let's get some numbers in here. We're talking about history by the numbers. Okay? Let's wake up, chat. History by the numbers. Let's see. Shashah. What does shashah mean in Hebrew? What number is that? Give you guys a second. Let's see who's got it written down here. Baralaba and Sharabana. Y'all got it? Y'all own it. Very good. It means 6. All right? Very good. Now, so what is this? If that's the case, what's this right here? What does this mean? Ma'ah. M-A-A-H. Put that in the chat. Tell me what that means. M-A-A-H. We're talking about Islam. Came on the scene, 600 AD. Shashah. We're trying to spell out this word here. Let's see who has it down here. See who's going to be first one to get it. I mean, we ain't no race, but that's good. Sarah Banab said 100. Very good, sis. Clap it up for Sarah. Very good. Put some claps in that chat. That's very good. That's sis. She's on it. Rob, Dina, all y'all. Let's see. Who got that? Yeah. Y'all got it. Adrian, all y'all. Y'all on it. Sarah, Adrian, yeah, very good, Adrian. Sarah and Barah, y'all got 100. Very good, Barah. Good. Everybody's clapping up because that's what it is. It means 100. Now, so if that's 100, what do we have to do to make this more than 100? Somebody tell me that. So what word, I'll put it in blue here. After my ayah, what do I have to put to make that 600 plural? Then we'll have it. Okay, my ayah. Somebody put it down for me in the chat. What word is it? We got shashah. Let me see if I can, shashah, maya, and then what word do I have to put after maya to make this plural? What do I got to do? Y'all write it down in the chat. Shashah. Shashah, Maya what? What do I got to do to make that plural? Somebody know. How do I make Mayah? Because Mayah just means 100. That's what Mayah means. It's 100. That's 100 of them. This is 6. But to make that plural, how do you say 600? Because that's Mayah by itself is just 100. All you really is saying is 106. So let's make it plural. Let's make that plural. Let's see who's got it. Mahayam, Shara. Very good, Shara. Clap it up for Shara. Very good. That means y'all learned. That's what it tells me. Clap it up. That's right. Very good. And everybody, if you're new in school, there's some people who already have it. They already know what it is. And this is what we're teaching you right here. Yam. Okay? Because it's masculine, it's yam. You can say for a woman it'd be yan. But in this case, this is masculine. So you say shasha ma'ayam, ma'ayam. You always use, that'll be yam, okay? Very good. That's good. Let's see what y'all got here. Barah, very good. Shara, very good. So it's Miyam. So Islam came on the scene. You read Israel. 606. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. 600. Shashamayayim. Shashamayam. That's 600. 600, plural. Not 606, but 600. And that's what that means, Shashamayim. Okay? Very good. That's what they talk about. When they talk about this little mark, when they got this right here, and they little stone inside there that sort of fell, this is a story I got, fell from the sky, and they throw a little rock, and they think it's supposed to be something good. No, not the children of Israel, but that's what we got, going after other gods. So that's our profession. We prostituting after those gods. So anybody that's under Islam, Islam or however you say it, Assalamu alaikum or whatever you want to call it, you know, that's what they did, march around this. Of course, we don't do that. Israel don't do that. We're not supposed to be doing that. But that's, if you're in the Christian church or you're in Islam or you're in any of those other factions, you're a heathen. Get in the ISUPK, you know. Get under command of General Yohana. Get in here. Get your name. That's what we're trying to say to you. You don't even know the truth until you got in here. You don't even know it. Here it is right here, Islam. They're saying Islam, on the scene of 600, worship some god of wood and stone. Our people prostituting themselves, a whoring, zanah. That's what they're doing, all over again. And that's what the Most High said. He told Moses, say, you're going to go sleep with your fathers, and my people are going to do Islam. They're going to go whoring. That's basically what he said. That's what the Most High said. Moses probably said, I believe you. But he probably was saddened and struck to his heart that his people were not listening. And that's exactly what our people are not doing nowadays. Look at that, Islam. So let's go to another one. Let's find out. Let's see how much time we got. We got time. Let's go to another one here. Let's go to the Crusades, 1204. 1204. Now, I'm not going to stay too long on some of these. This has already been explained. I'm just using this for illustration so I can write the numbers and tell you a little bit about it and how we went whoring after these other gods, really. The Crusades. What the heck's a crusade? Let's read about it. Let's look it up. Crusade. There were many of them. Many crusades. 1204. We're going to look up the, let's look it up. Let's look that up. You know. Let's look it up, because I looked it up and found out. Sad here. We're talking history. Let's find out what happened in 1204, the Crusades. The Crusades were a series of religious wars. Here go religion again. religious wars, initiated, supported, and sometimes directed by the Latin church. That's those white people over there directing stuff with the medieval period. The term refers especially to the Eastern Mediterranean campaigns in the period between 1096 and 1271 that had the objective of recovering the Holy Land from Islamic rule. Because Islam had that cobblestone marching around, they said, look here, we're gonna cover the Holy Land from Islamic rule. That's what they're basically saying. The Crusades, and I'll get into all the definitions here, but that's what it is. That's what it was. Plenty of crusades, okay? It's setting, all this is a setup to eventually set you up, set our people up for more and more. So that's what the heathens were doing back here. They were setting up Islam, you know, they were getting people into Islam, they were getting people, and that's what our people, we sit back now, and now we're looking at history, and we're saying, I want to be part of that cobblestone out there that Islam established. I want to be part of even the crusade. I want to go and tear down Islam and make maybe the Christian church. It don't matter. It's all gods of wood and stone. You know. So let's go into this. Let's figure out. Let's do this right here. Okay, let's find out here. What is this? How do you say 1,000 in Hebrew? Anybody know? Type it in on the chat. How do you say 1,000? Because that's what we have to deal with first here. We're talking about 1204 AD, the Crusades, because their job was to tear down Islam. You know, I'm just going to give a brief synopsis so we'll have an understanding. So when I'm writing Hebrew, type in the chat. Who knows? How do you say 1,000 in Hebrew? If y'all remember, we'll help you out. As a matter of fact, I'll put one letter up there. Starts with an A. Who knows? Look through your notes. That's the point of having notes, sis, brother. Akim and Akwathium. That's the point of having notes. Okay? I'll give you a second there. A little water. How you say 1,000 in Hebrew? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to write out 1204. You know. Let's write out 1204. That's the AD. That's the Crusades. You know. That's a period in history. Okay? With this, all the things lined up, because we're getting ready to get thrust into black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians get thrust into serving Islam and all this. Let's find out how this stuff came about. Sarah Banaf and Dina McCall, very good. We'll wait some more sisters. Let's see what y'all talking about. They're saying something here. Just let me know. If y'all agree, type it in. They're saying this word right here. This is what the sisters are saying. I ain't gonna say it yet. Who knows? It could be right, could be wrong. Let's all the sisters, all the brothers, type it in there. If that's what you think. Adrian Clay Ferguson said, okay, gotcha. Wow, okay, good, very good. Very good. Y'all got it in there? Type it in there. That's what you don't put your mark on there. Hold on to your word right there. If you're saying a lot, it could be something else. I don't know. Give you 5 more seconds, maybe 6 or 7 more seconds. Give people a chance to participate. The people just starting out, it's good to know what these words mean. But if you have a lot, and you're right, and all sisters do, and maybe want to have one letter off, but that's fine. It means, a lot means 1,000. Literally. Okay? And okay? Now if you want to say, let's go by this, let's do this. A lot. Okay, now we're going to have to establish 400. We're going to have to establish 400. That's what we're doing. Remember, we're writing right to left. Trying to get you guys used to writing right to left. Okay? A lot. That's 1,000. Okay, we ain't done. I'm just trying to see what we got here. A lot. Oops, not 400. 200. I'm sorry. It's a lot. 200. Okay, now how do you write 200? All right. Well, let's try this right here. 2 is this. Shanya. We'll give you one here. Shanya. Okay. All right. And then we're going to write Ma'ah. Shara Ma'ah. Got to erase a lot here and put it another spot here because it's taking up a little room here. Lot. Okay. Shanya Ma'ah. What do we get? What do we need in front of both of these to make these plural? I'm sorry, not this one. Well, that's just 1,000. What do we need in front of Shanya Ma'ah? Shanya is 2. But if you put it with Ma'ah, it's 200. But because it's plural, what do? We have Ronald McDonald checking in from Ronald McDowell checking in from Chicago. We'll write your name down, brother. Okay. Ron, put your if you are a native Indian or whatever, put down what you are. McDonald. You black, Hispanic, or native Indian, put in the chat what you are. I'd like to know that. Okay? If you black, Hispanic, or native Indian, write that down in the chat what you are, Ronald McDowell. Okay? Adrian said yam. Dina said yam. Okay? Shana, Sharamaya, okay? Shanya. Okay? There you go. But I think is that Bara? Who wrote that? Shara. You want to take that H off of the Shanya, okay? It's just Shanya. You don't have an H on there. It's understood, so they say Shanya. And the word is Shanya. And I'll spell it out in Hebrew so you can understand it a little bit. It's Shah. We'll spell it out in Paleo to get a little better understanding here. Shah, right there. And then you have Yan. You have Slarkia. Like this. Shan, and then you have Ya. Shanya. Okay, so we'll have to do this. Shan. Oh boy, that's one. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so it's like. Okay? Yeah. All right. So you have Shah, you have Shah, and you have Na. So you have to put these two together and make a dependent connector, and then you have Ya by itself. And that's like that. But, well, let me see here. Shah, Shanya. Wait a minute here. Hold a minute here. Let's make sure we got this correct. Yeah. You don't put an H on there. It's Shanya, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up in my notes here, because sometimes I get backwards on these things here. Oh, let me look it up and make sure it says, where is this at? Let's lock it for a second, okay? Ron, what you put down, I am black from the tribe of Judah. Very good, Ron. Very good. Glad to have you, brother. You black from the tribe of Judah. We're glad to have you, brother, okay? We're glad to have you. You're not an officer. You're a young man, if that's what you're saying, okay? Glad to have you. Keep checking in, Ron. Very good. Appreciate that. Let's look this up. Let's make sure, because it's been a while here since I even went over these numbers. On this side of it anyway. By themselves, I'm so busy doing the times in history. So let's look it up. Let's find out. Let's see here. Okay, here it is right here. Yeah, Shanya. Shanya doesn't have an H on it. It doesn't have an H on it, so it's pronounced, yeah, Yah is weird, but that's what it is. It's one of those that is understood, and that's a very good, I can understand why you get confused on that, but it's like this. It's Shan, then Yah by itself, but it does not have to have Yah. Yah is this word here, Y-A, okay? Y. And so that character there holds its own. But you don't have to have Ha on it, okay? Okay, Sharab? I think that's who did that. But you're 100% right. I mean, you're 99.9999, I count it all for good. But just take the H off of there, Sharabana, and you'll be fine. Okay, good. So that's good. Okay. But anyway, I applaud you for doing that. That's good. Shanya by itself. Just making sure. I thought it was. And it's one of those that normally you would think, because it's being pronounced by itself, you would actually put an H out there. Shana. Ha. But it's not. It's Shana. So Yah is by itself. Y-A. Okay? Anyway, what was I saying? Okay. Allah. Alright? Allah is 1,000. Ma'ah, then we said yum. Did everybody have yum on there? Yeah. Okay, you guys got it. Good. Clap it up in class. That was a good answer. Very good. You have to put, let's get another color here. You have to put yum. You got to put, on this right here, you got to put a yam on it because 100 by itself is ma'ah. We know that. But to make it 200 and 300 and 400, you put a yam. So it's shanya, 2, ma'ah, 100, and yam. Shanyan, shanya, ma'ah, yam. Because it is masculine, you don't say yan because that's the word, that's the way you say it and pluralize it for a woman. You don't say yan, but this is all masculine here. When you write, when you're teaching, it's masculine, okay? When women want to speak, there are certain times when you'll say a shan, okay, good. A shan, good. Khan, that's right. A shan say, yes sir, that's right. Exactly right, Sean, okay? And all y'all got it right? That's good. Shanya, Ma'a, Yum. Okay? Now that's 4. All right, who knows how to write 4? Because there it is over here. So we wrote 1,000 over here. Okay? We wrote plus 200. And then we got a 4 sticking over here. So how do you write 4? Anybody know? Type it in the chat. See if y'all remember. Type it in the chat. I'm 57, old, and I've been studying the last 5 years. I've been trying to keep the laws coming. There you go, the best of my ability. Brother, it stops right here. We don't try no more. We do. Let's applaud this brother right here. Let's applaud him. Applaud Ron. We're going to do it. We ain't going to try no more, brother. We're going to do it. You have any problem, you make sure you call www.ISUPK.com, Officer Natazah. The phone number right there on the screen. You get in contact with him, and he'll tell you who to talk to in Chicago. Or if you want to check into the class on the LASHAWAN QADASH, that's fine. But we have a class in Chicago, Ron, and that's good. And I applaud you for that. Like I said, get in class and you've been keeping the commandments, you're 57 years old, exactly right. You've been doing the best you can in your ability, and that's what we want you to keep doing. But this time we want you to be the ability. Do it. The Bible says, become you therefore perfect. Okay? That's what we want you to do. So let's work with it. We're going to be perfect, brother. We're going to get this thing right. Arabai. Dina says, Arabai. Let's see. Who else got that? Let's make sure. Dina said 4. That's good. That's good. This is good, man. I tell you. She said, Ra. Did you say bye? I think you did. If that's the case, Arabai. Who else said that? Brave souls. Arabai. Dana said Arabai. All right. Sean, what you say? Come on. Adrian, what you say? And Ron, you be taking notes, brother. Lamar David, Adrian, Ron, Dana. Dana said Arabai. The number system. That's important to understand this. So when you read it, you'll know when you read this in the Tanakh or in the Bible, you'll understand, oh, okay, that's 4. And you'll begin to put together things. You begin to learn how to count. Write it down here. Okay? Sean. You're in class. Good. Okay? Let's see. Let's see who else got it written in here. Let's lock it for a second. Barah said Arabai. Okay. Adrian said Arabai. Dana said Arabai, of course. First. And they are all correct. When you say 1204, of course we're talking about the Crusades, 1204. We won't get into particular on about the Crusades. Just know that it's a series of wars that was trying to get rid of Islam. Really, there's many crusades they had. But anyway, how you say 1204 is alap. Alap. Then you say Shanya Ma'ayam 200. Because alap is by itself, 1,000. Didn't say 2,000, say 1,000. So it's alap, not alap yams. But in the words Ma'a, it's Ma'ayam, that's 200. But that's getting to you're pluralizing this 2 here. Shanya, which makes it 200. And Arabai stands by itself. Okay, so y'all write that down on the board. Arabai. Write that down on the board. Slide for a second. Write down on the board. Write that down. Okay? Alright. Let's move on to something else here. Let's write, see if we can go as far as we can, you know. See if we got time for some more. Let's write down here, let's write down some of these dirty churches. Some of these churches that had this God of wood and stone that we done joined and got ourselves into. It's all started with this white man, this devil. He done got himself involved. I mean, we done got ourselves involved into his gods. To his many gods. And that's what the Most High didn't want for us, see? And that's what we've done. But in 1483 AD is the Lutheran Church. Y'all heard of the Lutheran Church, ain't you? The Lutheran Church. Lutheran, yeah. The Lutheran Church. Okay? The Lutheran Church. The Lutheran Church. We'll just say, we'll put Lutheran right there. Okay? The Lutheran Church came about, that's like Martin Luther. He was a Protestant, and that's where you get all these Protestant churches. He protested. I think he climbed on the ladder of Tesla and walked backwards, some craziness. But this is how this stuff come about, and we sit up here following this mess. The gods of wood and stone. Hoarding after this crusade, this Islam, a cobblestone. Then now we got gods of wood because they brought the Lutheran Church. They said, oh, here's a god of wood. You know, Christ died on his wood here. Let's worship that. Pick it up anything. Gods of wood and stone. That's what they said, see. The gods of wood and stone. The Lutheran Church came about that time. Let's see if we can write this down. Let's write down how we write 14. Again. How do we write 1,000? Okay, we're going to say a lot. We write 1,000. We write a lot. We did that. Well, now we know how to write 1,000, a lot. If you don't, put that down in your notes. But that's how you do it. But we're going to learn how to write it down here in a second. The Lutheran Church, is that Protestants? Let's look it up. Yeah, they are in a sense because they protested against the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church is what that is. It's not a history lesson, just something. Y'all gonna tax me here. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Since you asked, let me make sure. I know it is. All right. Let's find out what this is right here. Okay? What did she say? Is that the Protestant? Okay. Because you got to understand what the Catholic Church is in order to understand what the Lutherans are and the Protestants are. Okay? The theology of Martin Luther. Okay? You got to understand who Martin Luther was. He was once in the Catholic Church. It's actually more close to Catholicism, sis. If I'm not mistaken. Adrian Clayford said the Lutheran Church is that Protestants. Okay. Let me say this to you. Martin Luther, he was part of the Catholic Church. And before he died, I'm sure he still is. But basically, he broke away from the Catholic Church and still just formed another form of Catholicism. And he called it the Lutheran Church. Martin Luther. Okay? And everybody's supposed to go up the ladder of Tetzel, forgiveness or something like that in the Lutheran Church. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is. And the Lutheran Church is nothing but a form of Catholicism. And all he did was rebel against the Pope. And Pope, and that language means Papa, a father. And that's what he did, 1483. So the Lutheran Church, that's what they did. Okay? Martin Luther was their leader. Okay? There you go, Adrian. Okay, good. That was their leader, Martin Luther. Because you know Martin Luther King was named after him too. Whatever that means. He rebelled. He put us in jeopardy by trying to join us together. So, and then trying to get us to join these gods of wood and stone. And I'm sure they had a wooden cross back there, gods of wood and stone. That's what we're discussing. How these things happened here, how it came down. Okay, the Martin Luther, all right? The Lutheran Church. So let's find out how we write 1483 AD. A lot, okay? How we write 400. Well, let's figure it out right here. How we write 400? How are we going to write 400 here? Anybody know? Well, it's going to be, the first thing we want to do is write, how do you write 4 in Hebrew? Arabah. That's what we said before, right? By. Very good. And how we write 100? Write in the chat. I'll let you guys do that. How we write 100 in the chat? How we write 100 pluralized? Even if we did it before, it's just an exercise of writing, not futility. Just an exercise of writing, so we'll get, when you do things over and over again, it's help you with your number system, it help you with your Hebrew, Arabah, 400. So how do you write 100? We got 4 here. We got 4, so how we write 100? Pluralize. Let's see what brother or sister has this. Sean, Ma'ayim, very good, Barah. Very good. You got it, very good. So she said, I'll go ahead and give you that. Ma'ayim. That's what it is. When you say Arabah Ma'ayim, that's 400. Why? Because that's Ma'a 4 times. Because it's pluralized. Ma'ayim is plural, so how many times? 400. And that's what we get. So 4 we got 1, 4. Now how we write 80? We got to write an 8 in here somewhere, don't we? let's get another color here, maybe green. 80. How we write 80? I'm gonna write 80 right here. Okay, well, how do we write 80? First of all, how you write 8? Anybody know? Type it in the chat. Starts with this. Shop. How you write 8? And then how you write AT? Okay, we'll give you guys a chance. Let's see who got it. Barack, ain't wasting no time. Shamawa Nayam. You close, take the I out, and you'll be fine. Shama wa na. Okay, and then you want to put yum, Y-A-M somewhere in there. But take the I out, surah, and you'll be fine. So let me know you. There you go. 8. Shamawana is 8. Ramana. His real name is Michael King. Michael King. Yeah, that's right. Martin Luther King. That's right. His real name was Michael King. He changed the name of Martin King. That's very good, brother. Real name was Michael King. You're exactly right. I believe that's what we went over there once before. But Shama Wanayam. 80. Shama Wana means 8. But when you put yam on it, now you're saying 80. Because you're saying 10 is Ashara. Okay? And then when you put yam on it, and everything comes after that from 10 all the way to 100 is a yam. So, I believe, sister, I think, what did I say you have right here? Khan, okay, good. Shama, yeah, take the I out and you'll find. It's not Shamana, it's H. And you got it, I mean, you know, I can't really fault you for that, that's good. But just make sure that it's Y-A-M, okay? Shamana Wayam, all right? That's 8. Now, 3, all we left with is 3. What is 3? Anybody can do that one. No, not really. All right, tell me what 3 is. Tell me what 3 is. We got to write 3. We can't just say 1480. We got to say 3. We got to give the full understanding of 1483. The Lutheran Church came on the scene. That's what this time in history was. Martin Luther. But Martin Luther of this time wasn't the black Martin Luther King that we're talking about. This was some white man. Okay? Because we went to worshiping after their gods of wood and stone. So this is a guy in the Catholic Church somewhere. The Lutheran Church came out of that. And 1483. So how we write 3? How we write that? Let's see what y'all got. Shara, let's make sure she's right. I don't know. I don't know, Shara. Let's see. Let's see if she's right. She's got this word right here. That's what she has. Shalash. Let's see if that's right. Y'all put it in the chat. Check it out. Y'all verify it. See if she's right. Collaborate together in the chat. Work together. Let's see what you got. She says shalash. Let's see if the sister's right. We'll give you guys a chance to put that in there. How much time we got here? All right. Okay. Anybody else? Got it in the chat? Is she right? Let's see. Dina put shalash. She said shalash. So far, Shara. Everybody else? Anybody else? Believe that it's shalash? May write it in there. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if That's 3, because what we're writing is Allah. 1,000. Arabai, Ma'ayam. Okay, Arabai Ma'ayam is 400. That's 400 of it. Then we got Shalash, Shamona. Yam. Okay. Shalash. So she's right. So everybody who had that in there, you know, that's good. Shalash. That means you're learning your number systems along with the Hebrew words also, like covenant, bariyah. You're learning these in real time. Okay, let's write another one here. I think we got time for another one here. Let's find out another point. Historical by the numbers. Let's find out John Calvin. Let's see if we got some here. 1509. Okay? That would be John Calvin. It's like Calvinistic church. Don't know too much about it, but it's a Western Christian traditional church. It's just some sort of white church that, all these are white churches though. I mean, we went whoring after them. John Calvin. That's what it is. John Calvin. Okay? John Calvin started the Anglican church. Anglican. If that sounds like England, because that's what it is. Anglican. Anglican. That's what it is. Thank you, Sharaf, for that clap up. The Anglican church. That's what he started. The Anglican church. I'm not going to write out the whole thing for that one. It's the Anglican church, but I'll write it right here. These people, we're just kind of getting you enough. Anglican church, I'm sorry. Anglican, it sounds like Anglican. Anglican, because I believe that's sort of like they meant it to sound like the English of the church. Actually, really what it is, so you can say all the Church of England, if I remember doing the research, it's the Church of England. Them white people over there, them devils over there, okay? That's not the children of Israel. But these are the churches that we went after, gods of wood and stone. We went after them. Okay? We went after them, and what did they give us? Our cobblestone and crosses, crucifixes, statues, the Catholic Church. It don't matter. It don't matter if they're Lutheran, what else? Anglican, John Calvin, whatever. Let's get another one. They're all gods of wood and stone. The Jesuits came along in 1563. 1563, those were the Jesuits, okay? Those were the Jesuits. And then, of course, the Jesuits, they came, or these Romans, and that's the same as these American people over here right now. That's the Roman Church, okay? The Roman Catholic Church, I'm sorry. The Roman Catholic Church, that's them, okay? And then, of course, now here's one, let's see, I hope you guys writing this down. Let's erase this one over here, since y'all had a chance to write down Islam over here a little bit. Let's put this one down right here, y'all. Wow. Let's put this one down. Let's not forget this one right here now. This is the one that everybody go beat the tambourine in, and of God and wood and stone, and walk around and do ice skating backwards on some slobbing and foaming at the mouth. Whoring after these other gods. You know, Zanah. That's what whoring means. That's the Hebrew word for it. Zanah. Z-A-N-A-T-H. H, I'm sorry. Z-A-N-A-H. Zanah. Whoring. We read about that a little while ago. But let's write down here. Let's write down, of course, that was the Roman Catholic Church. Roman Catholic Church, Jesuits. And of course, you know, it's the Jesuit order of the Roman Catholic Church. Roman Catholic Church started way back here, way back a long time ago, and they were part of the Crusades to help overthrow Islam. They wanted to get Islam off the scene. The white people always wanted to rule. Earth given the hand of the wicked, always wanted to rule. And we foolish enough to go whoring after those gods. So, let's write over here, John Smith, 1609. 1609. 1609. A.D. All right? We done broke our covenant, so we're going after this God. 1609. That's John Smith. And who can tell me what John Smith, what's one of the churches that our people go after a lot? The name kind of along with it right there. John the what? What church is that? Write it in the chat. John the what? Because he was John, this man went against Christ. He should have joined up with Christ on the scene and went with him. Instead, he went off and made a whole religion by himself. I'm sure John Smith called that white man, said, let's find out what we did. No, not Mormonism. Let me make sure here. That would be another. That would be another. I think that would be the one you're talking about. Let's see here. If I'm not mistaken. That's you're not that John Smith you're talking about, but yes, that would be. He also John Smith was the. Did I get that wrong? John Smith, there was one. And the Baptist Church. Let me see. Yeah, John Smith and the religious leader. Yeah, exactly. John Smith. Okay. Wait a minute. Slow about the thought, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll put it down, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I'll clear that up in class, sir. It's locked, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate that, sir. Yes. Yeah, my officer said that is correct. You're right, sis. It is the Mormon Church. Okay? 1609. All right? You're right. Exactly right. I wrote that down in my notes here. But exactly right. That's another church. That's another church. You're right, sis, is the Mormon. That's another church that came around. We're talking LASHAWAN QADASH. That we went after whoring. We're going after whoring off all these. All our zanah. That's what the word is, whoring. We went after all these gods of wood and stone. They all bear the cross. They all bear some sort of wood or stone. Statues. You know, that's what we've been talking about in class. All these classes, all these churches. See what we got in here. Okay, John the Baptist. That's right. Let's see here. Very good. Okay. God, the main thing we're talking about here is that we broke our covenant and started whoring Bariyah. We broke our Bariyah and started Zanah, whoring after these churches. We became professional whores. That's what this is saying here. Okay. Definition of this is something that we did, and because the Most High said that we would do it, you know. And the Baptist Church is also a member of the Protestant Church too. What are they protesting? They're protesting the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church is the one that did all of that. Jesuits, Romans, and all them, Anglicans and Lutherans, they're all Catholics, all them. And by the time we get to here, the Pope said, all right, We're going to let all y'all have all these churches. And that's really the Pope is ahead of all that. The gods of wood and stone, our people foolishly, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, went whoring after these gods. That's the reason for me putting this on the board. We shouldn't be doing that. Of wood and stone, you know, Deuteronomy 31 is what we talked about here. So the Protestant church, Christian denomination, advocating baptism for one and double believes what? Total immersion, John the Baptist. And John the Baptist should have been in, when Christ came on the scene, he should have cut off what he was doing. He started a church, Baptist. If you really want to know, he gave the idea up later on, you know, John the Baptist, let's do baptism. And baptism by water ain't got nothing to do. Nothing. It's supposed to be baptism by the Spirit. Got nothing to do with what Christ was teaching. John should have said, Yahushua, what do you want me to teach? Should have joined Christ and went up under him. That's why the ISUPK followed commanding Joan Yohana, ISUPK, under Christ, under Yahweh. And all the officers follow what commanding Joan Yohana said. Why? Because he's the appointed, since 1969 here, this is what we have from 1969 to teach us what's going on in class. And that's what we do. You don't just go off willy-nilly in all these Israelite groups following all these other classes and other gods. That's how you get into Christianity, by not being under the truth. That's why. And they break off. Get into all this. John the Baptist did. Yeah, Ron, you're right. John the Baptist, the Baptist Church, yeah, right. The Baptist Church, they came on. You see? Let's see if we got one more here. And we got John Wesley in 1720. I don't know if we got enough room here. We got John Wesley, 1728. Because like I said, John Smith was the Mormon. All right? We're not going to write it all out there because I ain't got enough time here. But in 1728, let's write this one. Be my last one, basically. And it don't matter which one of these churches, we kind of got to give you some evidences of how we got into all these wooden stone gods. Worship all these churches. Look at this. Look at this foolishness. What we do? Black, we got the Bible, the greatest book ever written, and we're going to sit up here and worship this stuff. All of these, Lutherans, Crusades, John Calvin, Anglican, Jesuit, Roman Catholic Church, Lutheran, John Smith, Mormon, Baptist, and what did I say, 1728? John Wesley. Let's get with him. John Wesley. All of them are some form. All of them are some form of the Catholic Church, really. If you really want to put it in a nutshell, that's where they all came from. Martin Luther being the first one said, all right, I'll just do another form. And then the Jesuits, they just said, all right, let them go, just mix it up. Hodgepodge. As long as they worship the God of wood and stone. As long as it's got something that because it's aimed at our people so that we would worship the gods of wood and stone. Let's find that again. Let's find that text again. I think it's make sure I find that right here. Deuteronomy 31:16. Let's find that again. Let's read that again before the night's over here. The night is over with. I know the water for my officer corrected me on something when the sis had something to write about John Smith Mormon. She was right. Exactly right. You know, I had it written down, but notes wrong. But John the Baptist was one of the first one of our people to sit up here and had us worshiping baptism. You go around one Christian and come up a wet Christian. That's all it is. We not Christians. This ain't the Christian church here. The ISUPK is not the Christian church. If you look for the Christian church, you got the wrong place, wrong idea, wrong time. This is not us. This ain't us. Okay, we follow the Bible with the Apocrypha in the middle. We follow that Bible, and we reject all of this mess here. Those gods of wood and stone. Let's find, what did I say, Deuteronomy. Let's look at that. We still got a little time here in class. Let's look it up. Salaki. Deuteronomy, I think it was, what did I say, 31? Let's find that. Y'all go along, follow along with me. Deuteronomy 31. That's what we've been talking about all night here. We're looking up, we're going down through history by the numbers in which they started. All these churches that we whored after and we got ourselves into, beat tambourines. It don't matter. I seen some black people worse than Lutheran. I seen black people, no lie, worse than Roman. I ain't seen too many worse than Anglican, but worse than the Roman Catholic Church. I don't think I've seen too many Mormons because they got a whole other idea of understanding for some of the black people, I guess, I don't know. But I've seen people worship in the Catholic Church. Then what they doing? Going around saying, Hail Mary, full of grace, blessed art thou. What in the world? The Most High say you shouldn't do that. That's not our people, okay? Deuteronomy, our people should not be doing that. Deuteronomy 31:16. Let's find out what it says again. Let's just read this. And the Lord said unto Moses, look here, you're going to go to sleep, your fathers and his people, rise up. And the Lord said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt sleep with the fathers. That means go to sleep and die. You're going to die. And this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of strangers and of land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my bariath, or my covenant, okay, which I made with them. The Lord made a covenant with us way back long ago. Well, I think we read that, and I'll read this again. We read that in Genesis 9:9, because I took it off the board here. Let's go back and find out where it is. The Most High said right here, after Noah got off them ship right here, when the eight were there, he told Noah and his sons, look at here. This, matter of fact, it says it right here. And it says, and the Most High spake to Noah and to his sons. And say the women, because the women are supposed to follow the men. That's another good way that you know that our women in ISUPK follow their men. That's the hierarchy. We'll get into that in another class. Okay? When we put some LASHAWAN QADASH with it, we'll find out how the hierarchy is. You know, it's the Most High. Yahweh is the Most High. Yahweh Shai, Christ, if it's what you want to say. Yahweh Shai. Then man, us. Okay? And then the woman. Of course, the children right up under there. Follow the hierarchy. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how our women are happy, making sure Khan out of Khan. They making sure they let the man lead in the household. That's how you have a happy household. Talking about happy wife, happy life. Happy man that we won't have no headache, so he can go out and earn some bread. And we'll talk about Proverbs 31 woman. We did that before. We'll talk about that again. You know, you help that man out. You help him out by being quiet and saying, Khan out and Khan. We'll talk about that later, though. It's another class. And God spake unto Noah, said unto his sons to him, saying, and behold, verse 9, Genesis 99, and behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your Zerai, or seed. I establish my covenant. It's locked. Let me look and see what we got here. Okay, good. Gotcha. I establish my covenant. Okay? Bariath. Don't forget those words. Whoring, Zanah. Seed, Zerai. Okay? And write down, of course, all of these so you'll know. And of course, it's got more here. We just run out of time. We don't have a whole lot more time to do. So our job is to basically come out of that. Come out of that, you know, come out of that you be not partakers of. Let's see if we can find that right here. Let's see if we can find, I think it's in Revelation. Let's see here. Yeah, it is right there. Come on, temple, people sing. There you go. Revelation 18:4. The Most High wants you to come out of this Christian church. Come out of this Lutheran church. Come out of this John Calvin. Excuse me. Jesuits. If you in those churches right there, come out of it. Okay? If you in one of these, and you broken the covenant, the Barayath, in Hebrew, LASHAWAN QADASH, if you part of the Zari, Z-A-R-I, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, that's the seed of Israel. If you part of that, and you stuck in one of these churches, the Most High said, come out. Let's read it. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, all people. No, I didn't say that. Some people. No. It said, my people. Come out of that, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not her plagues. Sorry. Receive not a plague. Some water here. Sloppy. Come out of that. That you receive not her plagues. See right here. Okay. It's better. Okay, let's get the ISUPK announcements. If you had a good class today, clap it up. Clap it up in class. If you learned something, let's clap it up. Show me those claps there and let me know you learned. I know you learned something because you understood the pluralism, you understood the math, the dates, and now you know what dates occurred, how we got caught up into all these churches. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. We know now that we shouldn't be whoring after this. If you were in these churches, most of y'all came out of them. That's the main thing. Most of y'all came out of these churches. So y'all know, if you came out of these churches and you looking at us for the first time, get an ISUPK, www.isupk.com, okay? We're going to, let's see what we got here. Adrian, Shirah, okay, good. Everybody, y'all clap it up. Y'all enjoy our class, put them claps in there. That lets me know that y'all learning, but the Most High, give the claps. Okay, we're going to talk about the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for the new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits. For 6 months, they are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in particular in a person, he or she must get permission from the head. In this case, it's Officer Natazar. He's the one who called me and corrected me on some things there, and I appreciate him for that. He's a great leader. To speak to the brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. And of course, in Chicago, I was telling you, Ronald, you get with Officer Natazar and that number down there, he'll give you a number in which you can get it to the school there, okay? But you're welcome to participate in classes, you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'asherah. Of course, we've been talking about numbers, and that's what Asherah means, 10, okay? Of the 10th, Ma. 10% of every penny of increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teaching. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you whatsoever amount you would like to give. And we have some upcoming convocations that we have here. The holy convocations. Let's announce this here. We have one coming up, the Feast of Dedication, or Hanukkah. That's what we call it. That's what the Most High. Instead of you worshiping after all these gods of stone, let's get into the Feast of Hanukkah. We're going to have it right here at ISUPK.com. Just get online, call the number, and look up where we are, okay? Here in Simpsonville, Georgia. Okay, we'll love to have you here. All right, the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, the 25th day of the 9th month of the space of 8 days. Watch Wednesday, December 9th, 2020 for 8 days. First Maccabees 4, 52, and 61. That's what we talk about, Maccabees. That's in the Bible. So it's talking about First Maccabees 4, 52, and 61. Of course, Purim is the next following year there. But right now we're talking about the Feast of Dedication, which is coming up real soon. I'll read it again. 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. Wednesday, December 9th, 2020, 8 days. The First Maccabees 4, 52, and 61. Okay? And we thank you for coming out to the school tonight to be part of this. I'm Officer Kazak Park. For that we say, Shalom.